friends. Welcome back to another episode of Two Idiot Girls. Our fun drinks this week are the same as they were last week.
Listen, I'm only human. Okay?
It's pumpkin season.
What do you want from me? This pumpkin cream cold brew has me in a chokehold.
It's all we want.
I just won't apologize. You know what
I'm not
saying?
gonna lie, the root beer Olipop kind of took me out for a couple days.
It did. And you know what? I said maybe no more fun drinks. Maybe drinks that Drew knows what they taste like and likes. You know what I mean?
We also changed the days that we film, so it just sounds wrong to drink a
soda in the morning.
a prebiotic in the morning. That sounds disgusting. Let's answer some elephants in the room that aren't us. First one, we just got back from New York because Drew got to do the coolest thing in the entire world, which was host the red carpet, TikTok red carpet with our favorite Chris Olsen for the new DC movie Black Adam.
Period.
We cried the entire time.
It was very emotional.
Yeah, it was such a dream come true. And I don't remember. I think her name's Martha. She was the one that made that, how it started and how it's going.
Yeah.
With us starting to Idiot Girls talking about The Rock and representation of Polynesian people in general in mainstream American media.
Yeah.
To Drew speaking Samoan on the red carpet with him. Pretty nutty, dude.
It was pretty nutty. I would say a lot of people have been like, how do you feel? How's it been? And honestly, this is such a Virgo fucking thing to say, but it feels good because I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Which is so annoying to hear, but I manifested that for months, for almost close to a year.
Yeah. If you could just do that for my love life, that'd be great. Then I think we'd be golden.
Girl, you got to do it.
Well, no.
Manifestation doesn't come true unless you do it yourself too. I'll help out.
You get the train going. You get the ball rolling.
I'll get behind for an extra push. You know what I mean? But you got to do it too.
Yeah.
But it was the craziest fucking thing I've ever done, but so awesome.
Yeah.
So incredible.
What's so cool is that the last 2 times we've been able to go to New York, it's always for you to get to do something really, really cool.
Yeah.
So super grateful. What
New York's really growing on us.
Yeah.
We both disliked it for different reasons.
It took me to the ground, I'm not going to lie, last year. But
yeah, that's why we joked about Fletcher's album, You Ruined New York City for Me.
Which I listened to it all on the plane because Carrie told me to.
Yeah, I told you to.
No, I know.
The fact that she's going to give that, roll the clip. The fact that she's going to give that credit to Carrie, roll the clip.
No, I'm saying Carrie reminded me when I was on the plane because I bought Wi-Fi.
Okay.
We didn't have a great flight experience. I'm not going to lie to you.
No, we did not.
Someone told Delta Airlines we're not happy with them.
Going to New York was a nightmare.
Coming back was too good to be true.
So good, in fact, that it went hard left at the end, as it should. Because you know what,
we got to stay humble out here.
The universe keeps me humble in the most random ways, bitch. I will
on the
say
way
that.
there, they're like, you don't get to get on your plane. You get to be more stressed about your big day tomorrow.
Yeah, literally.
And then on the way back, they're like, you thought you were having fun?
Yeah.
I bet you missed your
You thought I was
suitcase.
feeling you? That's what they said. That's what Delta's been saying to me this entire time. So here's a little insider info for y'all.
Ooh.
So obviously, the outfits were pre-planned.
Yes.
I'm not even kidding you. I manifested that months ago, 8-9 months ago. I knew when Black Adam was supposed to come out, and I was like, I'm going to manifest that I'm going to be at the premiere and I'm going to get to wear something that's someone inspired, created by someone artist, period, bitch.
That was back in I'd say at least January. Cause then when we talked to Phil, Drew's manager at GovBall while you were working.
Yes. In June. That was in June.
Yeah. I told Billy when we were in New York.
Yeah.
I told Billy, remember he asked me, so what's next on the horizon? I said, Phil, we got to get our girl to the Black Adam premiere. He's like, what's that? We were so excited.
Which means as a unit, myself, my family,
the team,
my boyfriend, my team, we've all manifested. So it's thank God. Oh my God. My team has been so amazing in the whole process of getting me there. So, but
it comes out on Friday. Buy your tickets. This isn't spawned.
Listen,
it's so good.
I've already seen it. I can confirm.
We said out of 5 Donnie Dumps, how many would you give
I gave it a 5.
That's
out of 5 Donnie Dumps, I gave it a 5.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. With DC, I know everyone's apprehensive about DC superhero movies, with the exception of the Suicide Squad, the second one was good.
The newest Batman.
Yeah, the newest Batman, Birds of Prey was good.
Yeah.
With the exception of those ones, I know no one's really fired up to see them as much as they would be Marvel, for example. But this one, very good. To me, it gave me everything that I wanted it to give.
Okay.
So I was very, very happy with that. And also The Rock as a superhero. highly recommend. I really buy into it. You know what I mean? I really buy it when I see him as Black Adam. It's awesome. So, but anyways, we planned those outfits for a while. And for those of you who don't know, like Billy was wearing a button down and it's called an iiii konga, but like it's like a lava or like a sarong is what white people would call it. Yeah, so it's a skirt for lack of a better term, but it's a very traditional Samoan outfit. It's worn to formal occasions. And he left his hanging in the closet when we flew to New York.
We're in LAX.
Yeah, we're in LAX. He tells me he realized he left it there, and my head spun all the way around like The Exorcist because I was so upset because I told him so many times, if you bring nothing else, bring your outfit for the premiere. He said, okay. I said, you got everything? Yep.
He said, okay. Not.
So that's a big shout out to our mom.
Yeah. And
Phil. But like my mom literally came to my house overnight FedEx that bitch to my manager's house who lives in New Jersey City.
Mind you too, like my mom didn't go to bed till like almost 4 a.m.
Yeah, because she was
that
with
day
me.
because we were packing and just stressed about getting everything there.
We were all packing and she was helping both my sister and I. And then she was also helping with my fitting for my outfit. So she was all over the place helping us.
So she gets home at like 4 a.m. and then we call her at 7.
No, it was later than that. It was probably like, no, because remember our flight had gone delayed. So it was like 10:30. But she said she had just laid down to try and get some sleep. Yeah. And she was about to fall asleep and I called her. Thank God I got to call her because she said it makes it overnight if you mail it before 12.
Dang.
Which I didn't know. But we found out. And it got there at 8 a.m. in the next morning, which was the day of the premiere.
Perfect timing.
So it was perfect timing. Shout out to our mom. Look at God. That's the devil. So trying to make sure that like those little things happen, like I said, to keep me humble and in my place as they should. So
don't get too big now.
Yeah, careful. That's what they always tell me. But other than that, very great experience.
Very good experience.
So awesome. The Rock was very nice. For anyone who was curious at all, he was not rude. He was not disrespectful to me in any way, shape, or form. He was the nicest guy. He was exactly who I thought he was going to be, which I'm really grateful for because I would have been real bummed if he was an asshole, which he wasn't.
Yeah. And I don't know, like I watched the TikTok live stream, but I don't know if you could really tell, like it was literally, if you've ever been in Times Square, it was literally in the middle, like where those red steps are.
Yeah.
It was right like next to it.
Yeah, exactly.
So people were standing in on the red stairs like they were bleachers.
Yeah.
And they were acting like I wasn't a person also standing there to watch the event. So I had to go in Drew's room so I could watch it.
It was the most bizarre like experience in the sense of where it was at. But I will say this, it was very loud, right? It was so loud. Like Chris and I both had in-ears in so we could hear ourselves to an extent. Okay. But you could hear the echo because we were being projected in Times Square. The live stream.
Yeah, they had it on a stage right there.
So that's how that's how you could see all the stars when they came up to interview with us. Like the people standing on the stairs and stuff and in the little courtyard, they could like watch it as well. So for those of you that thought maybe he was disrespectful to me or rude to me when he came up, he wasn't at all. He didn't hear me, first of all, because I'm sure you can imagine when the stars first started arriving, and it's not just the stars in the movie. There's obviously a lot of other celebrities there too,
which they don't show. So I had no idea there were so many famous people.
There was lots of other famous people there as well. The screaming is so loud. Like everyone's screaming every time someone gets out of the car. People are screaming. So like, can you imagine like when The Rock arrived? Yeah. The noise was out of control, which obviously you didn't hear unless you were there in person or like in the area. But when he got there, the screaming was so loud. When I announced that he was there, it was even louder because people who couldn't see him physically saw him on the big screen.
Yeah, because from Drew's room, you couldn't hear. I left her window open because I thought I'd be able to hear them up there, and you couldn't because I'm an idiot, and it's like 30 floors.
Honestly, I thought you'd be able to hear it too.
So I was watching.
That's just how close we were.
Yeah, and I didn't hear. I could hear like honestly the ambulances more and the police cars more than I could hear the event. But then I heard actual screaming. I go, why is everyone screaming? And there was a delay, obviously, to the live stream. Yeah. Like probably 3 seconds. And then that's when I was like, who's that little red man down there? And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he was like one of the only people wearing red. Most of the cast and stuff wore black, obviously, for the black carpet, for Black Adam, or like some kind of black and gold variation. But yeah, he wore red, and so you could see him, and he's hard to miss, obviously, because he's a big guy, and the screaming was so loud. So honestly, when he first walked up and I greeted him, he did not hear me. Like, I could tell he didn't hear me, because in addition to all the screaming, there's lots of handlers there as well. His whole security team is there also. So they're going like, stand back, stand back, stand back. Everyone stand back. He's here. Stand back, stand back. That's what it sounds like. Like, stand back, everyone stand back, stand back, stand back.
Oh, they're doing, she's like, what? Yeah, here we go.
Imagine if you ever want to do this shit for a living, you have to be a multitasker, babe. Because like, I'm listening to someone in my ear, I'm hearing the screams, I'm hearing my own voice, and I'm hearing stand back, he's here, stand back, The Rock's here, stand back, like the entire time. So mind you, he walks up, you're hearing all that. People are like, careful, stand back. Like, they just don't want anyone too close to him. Everyone's recording, taking pictures, all that shit. He did not hear me when I first greeted him. That's why I said another greeting. And then he was like, oh my God, like he was just so caught off guard. So for those of you that interpreted it as if he was being rude, I understand why you would, but he wasn't. Like,
no, and if you like rewatch the clip, which like obviously I watched it 1,000 times, you could tell I think he was just trying to take in the whole thing.
Yeah, rewatch it with the context that I gave you. And then you'll be able to see it too. Like it'll register that you have to think too, like this is a huge deal for him. Like huge deal. Like it's like
he put his whole Rockasy into this.
He really did, man. Like his whole Dwayne Johnson he put that into this movie, like 15 years in the making. You know what I mean? Like it's been taking him that long to get this movie made. So you have to think he's there. Maybe he's nervous. I don't know how he's feeling. You know what I mean? He could have been nervous. He could have been like anxious. He could have been like, oh my God, okay, this has to go well. This has to go well. You don't know, right? That's what I took it for. So I'm telling you my interpretation of it because I'm the one who was there and I'm the one who talked to him. So, and also Chris did talk to him as well. Some people were saying like they thought Chris didn't get to talk to him. He did. But I do want to shout out Chris because
Drew pushed him off the stage right when The Rock came up. I saw it.
It's funny because Chris is the sweetest person alive. So when we had met prior, like we had like pre-meetings and all of that rehearsal, Chris had told me, he was like, hey, if we get to talk to The Rock, you can talk to him the whole time. I won't talk at all. Because he knew what a big deal that was for me, which is just the sweetest thing in the world and the sweetest gesture. But I told Chris, no, we'll just ping pong. Every person that comes up, you talk, I'll talk. You talk, I'll talk.
No, it was if you watch the whole live stream, you would know that.
Yeah.
But it was a really great pairing.
Yeah, we worked so well together. Chris and I've worked with Chris more than any other influencer. Just as much as my sister.
He's one of the ones that like I know literally.
Yeah, literally.
He's one of the ones that like exactly how he is online. That's
who he is in real life. He's
such a sweetheart.
He's the sweetest person in the world. So, shout out to Chris for the offer, but he definitely got to speak to him too. He asked him a couple questions. We all kikied and vibed.
He was more excited to meet Pierce Brosnan anyways, which was really fun.
He was so sweet in the offer because he just knew how much that meant to me to like get to meet The Rock and get to talk to him myself and all of that. So I will say this, interpret it this way. He'll never forget me. You know what I mean? That's how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
And he was excited because like I said on my Instagram story, when he tweeted me, like, you never see other someone's in the room. He's the only one who's ever in the room.
Yeah, when me and Adam were on the red steps, I'm like, how many other someone people do you think are here besides us and Drew and Billy and then I guess The Rock when he gets here? And he goes, that's it. I think that's it.
It really is. It's only ever us. So like you have to think too, like game recognized game. Like he didn't realize it until after the fact, and then he was so caught off guard. He was like, "What's your name again?" So that's how it was. Okay.
Also, enough of the like, girl, you gotta open up the relation. Enough.
Oh my God.
Enough.
Oh my God.
Enough.
The way that someone was like, how did you not climb him like a tree? I'm like, first of all, we're almost eye level. So a lot of people were saying, I know you've said you're tall or big, but like seeing you stand next to him and you guys look about the same height really put it into perspective for me. He's big. Don't get me wrong. He's a tall dude, but like I'm also a big dude. I'm also a large man. Yeah. So
we were around big people our whole lives. So
yeah. So like my perception of large or tall is much different.
That's why when people are big, like tall like that, and I go too tall, be smaller. That's how you know it's.
That's how you know it's too big. Yeah. It's too tall. But
like a basketball player 6'10".
And I
do that.
And I had flat shoes on too. In the pictures that you saw of me and him talking and vibing, I had flat shoes on. I would say he's probably like
He's
6'4".
Yeah, 6'4", 6'3".
Yeah, which is like, it is tall. It's just like on camera because of all the people he's around.
All the people he's always around.
Yeah, it's
are like 5'4".
Yeah.
So like if I'm standing next to him, they're like, "Whoa, that's a big man." No, it's not.
But if he's standing next to me or if he's standing next to Billy, he looks normal size, which is just because we're all like big men. You know what I mean? So they were like, "Why didn't you climb on a tree?" I'm like, "We're both trees in that sense." But also
he's also our uncle.
Yeah,
wink,
he's also happily married, and I'm also happily taken. And that's why I said
just because y'all have the Lannisters as your history does not mean we do that.
Well, too. Also, I just think like, girl, that's it's giving me fetish, low key, when they emphasize how big he is and like, why don't you like, come on. Yeah. And when he called me beautiful, he also called me sis. So
you did look beautiful.
I did. So like, and what of it? Maybe he was just stating facts.
He didn't go, "You sexy little thing." He didn't say that. You freaks.
He talked to me. When they're like, he called you beautiful, time to open the relationship. I'm all, he also called me sis. So like,
I wish he called you auntie. That would have been way funnier.
That would have been mean. When he called me sis, I said, "How old do you think I am?"
Sis. Hey, sis.
That's why I'm like, we are brothers in Christ and nothing more. Yeah. But I'm so happy and honored, and I'm really glad I got to take.
Super grateful. It was a really wonderful experience.
I'm so glad I got to take my sister. I got to take Billy. I got to take Adam. Like, I'm just so happy. My team was paramount in getting that set up too. So it was like the coolest fucking thing ever. Yeah. Like genuinely it was. So, and seeing how happy everyone was for me made me very emotional too. Cause it was literally, this is what I need to text her this, but this is like when Brittany met Harry.
Yeah.
That's how it was. It's the same love and support that I felt is how I felt when I watched Brittany met Harry.
Yeah, me too.
Because you're like so happy for her. Like she's just talked about it for so long. And you know what I mean? It's like a real full circle moment. So that's how I felt. So I appreciate all the love and support. It was fucking awesome. Was really so wonderful. Cool. Brothers. Till the end.
And then last little announcement. Something really exciting is happening on our Instagram today. So make sure you go look at that.
Yes. It may be about a tour.
I don't know.
Guess we'll see.
Make sure you check it out.
Make sure you go check it out.
All right, we're going to do obviously part 2 of pet peeves. Did you learn of any? That sound of that swallow? Pet peeve right there. Keep that.
Sorry, I was trying to like
keep that gullet away from the microphone. Do you have any other pet peeves that you've thought of over the past week?
Not that I could think of.
Because we flew to New York. Guess how many people stood up as soon as that seatbelt light turned off?
Oh, I'll say one. So like,
wait, I have another one, but go ahead. Yeah.
They're always about flying. our plane got delayed.
People
going to New York, it got delayed like 5 times, which is just a nightmare. But like, you know, it is what it is. Like, it is what I always think. Like when they're saying like the engine's failing, in my head, I'm like, I don't want to get on that plane. Yeah. Like, is it unfortunate? Yeah. Am I going to sit here and bitch about how I want to get on a plane that may crash? No, absolutely not. But this is a pet peeve of mine. Like I get it though. Like to a certain extent, it gets annoying because you're like, okay, like, because none of them have the info and it feels like you don't have the info and it's like, who am I supposed to ask? But some dude was like trying to start a coup like at the desk. He was like, if he gets up, we'll all get up. Yeah. Like we're
just gonna let them treat us like this.
This is ridiculous. And he like gives this whole monologue, turns around, no support.
We've all gotten him and moved to the new gate. We're
no support. Attention. No one's like, yeah. Like no one. Everyone's just kind of like,
yeah.
Because they have the power to decide whether or not you get on the plane either. That's what I always think.
Y'all forget about that.
Yeah, they can play God in that sense. So like, I'm like, you know what? Just, listen, in theory, in spirit, I get what you're saying. I will not voice my agreeance though. And then he just turned and he looked and he was like, yeah, like, you know, like he doubled down on it. Like, and then he just stormed off. He's like, call and complain. Make sure you call and complain.
Sir,
I will. Don't worry. But stop. Like, I'm also not going to cause a scene. Like, what does that do? Do you think that makes them move faster? Because I think it makes them go, fuck this guy. He's not coming on the plane.
Yeah.
Just my opinion. But that is a pet peeve of mine when they try to like stir up a revolution and nobody joins.
You said everyone that was mad about the plane where all the people in Les Miserables.
Yeah, like the French Revolution type shit. Like they were literally like about to tip it over. You know what I mean? Like,
I hope someone likes that joke because you made it at dinner and no one laughed.
I was like, oh, all of a sudden, no musical theater fans in here. I'm the only one, huh?
Okay. okay.
I'm the only one that was in the theaters when that hit it. Okay, sure.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say people,
no one's brave enough to stand with me on that. Okay.
People go to the airport and throw their brains in the trash before they walk inside.
Yeah, literally.
There's no common sense when they get inside there.
No,
I don't know
genuinely
why.
there isn't.
But I hate when we go to baggage claim and everyone's standing touching it. It should be like, at Disneyland when you're gonna get on the tram, they have that yellow stripe. And if you just put it just one little toe on there, that little attendant comes back over the yellow line, the yellow line. Please don't touch the yellow line.
Or they'll just run you down.
Yeah, they need one like that around the baggage claim, and we all have to stand side by side. No one can stand behind each other.
I think it should be like a deli. Like take a ticket, and then when your number is called, you can go up there and look for your bag. That's what I think it should be.
But the way everyone stands there, and then like get your bag. If you're with more than one person, go take it over there. Come back.
That's what I do. We have a really great system when we travel.
And all it is that we stand together and we tell Billy that one. And then he runs over and grabs it. That's
I'll like me and him will go up there together because we're large, so like we can like stand up there.
And no one pushes him around. When I'm up there, everyone
when Jason's up there, she's getting kicked around like a little.
Not even that short.
She's getting kicked around like a little soccer ball up there.
Yeah, like a pinball.
Yeah, and Adam too like was getting pushed around too. So we have them stand towards the back, and so when we get the bag, we push it back to them. They take it, go up to the side, so that way it's not crowding anyone. But we also don't lose our place because people get feral right there. So in the splash zone of the baggage claim,
out of control, bro.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's very irritating.
This first one's from Bert. It also has to do with the airport.
Love.
And they said, this is pretty specific, and I think about it often, mostly because I watch 90 Day Fiancé. I don't watch that show, do you?
No, but I
know of it.
I know enough to like get the jokes, I think.
So they said, but I get physically ill when I see someone put their luggage on their beds. I'm a baggage handler, and the amount of nasty gunk that is on people's luggage is so gross. And people just willy-nilly put that shit where they're going to sleep and fuck.
That's so funny because
I don't go anywhere near my furniture when I'm wearing my work clothes, and these people happily, cozily wrap themselves up in that shit.
See, like, okay. Great point. This is also in the same vein as like outside clothes on the bed. So like, here's the thing with me. Do I think you need to strip down naked every time you come home? No. But when
you live in New York, yes.
New York's different. I'm talking about where I live.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm in my car.
Yeah. But like when you fly, everything comes off like almost immediately. Like as soon as I get in my hotel room, I take everything off. And if I if I have the energy to shower, I will. But if not, I just completely strip down and put on new clothes. And like, that's why I pack an airport outfit to the airport and coming home. Yeah. Like I always have to.
And they're only for that.
And they're only for the airport. I don't wear them anywhere else. Like they're specific. And I pack shoes accordingly for the airport outfits too. Like I literally pack so specifically.
Socks.
Yeah. Two different pairs of socks.
Put the dogs away.
Oh my God. The way that like, that's so funny. Cause I told this story when we were flying to New York, but one time, we always wear socks and slides of some kind to the airport. Billy always wears socks and slides no matter what, but especially to the airport. But one time he was like, I kind of wanted to wear because it was hot. I think we were going, it was when we were going to
Nashville.
No, it was just me and him.
Oh.
I think we were going to Mexico. Okay. But he was like, it's so hot. I kind of don't want to wear socks because like when we land, it's going to be hot. And I'm all, you're going to have the dogs out in the airport, bro? And then he goes, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't do that. That's gross. I'm like, yeah, you got to take them off and you're going to be barefoot. That's disgusting. Talk about a pet peeve. So anyways, he's like, okay, I'm going to wear what I typically wear, socks and slides. We go through TSA. There's a lady in front of us. She's, and so she goes in front of us and she has little like rubber flip-flops. Ew. Another pet peeve. She takes them off, dogs out on the linoleum tile, right? Disgusting. She puts her shoes in the thing. One of the TSA guy goes, don't forget your shoes. Everyone make sure you take your belts off, whatever. He looks down, he's barefoot in the airport? And then she goes, yeah, just like, I was wearing flip-flops. He goes, you didn't bring socks? The way he just started flaming the fuck out of her, and she was right in front of Billy. And then he goes, oh, I don't know. I wouldn't trust these floors, ma'am. They're pretty gross in here. And then he was like, anyways, make sure you take your change out of your pockets, whatever. And then that lady's face got so red because she was embarrassed. And then I told Billy, I'll see, that would have been you. He would have flamed you so hard. And I would have joined in. I would have been standing next to him.
Even going to and from Hawaii, I'm going to wear socks on my feet.
Girl, if I'm wearing like, this is such a fob thing, but like, even if I'm wearing like slippers with like between the toes,
I'm going to wear
socks on. Get off the plane, get out of the airport, take the socks off. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that hard.
I agree.
That's something I will never compromise on, is being barefoot in the fucking airport.
So I feel the same way about luggage. Same with like my mom would be like, don't put your backpack or your purse that you put on the ground, don't put it on the kitchen table. It's the same type of thing. I totally agree with you. But.
Yeah. Luggage on the bed. I literally told Billy that recently. I was like, get that shit off the fucking bed. And it was just so he could get something out really fast.
Yeah.
But I was like, yuck. Right. That's why I'll find any space on the floor or like on
my crap,
the couch, the futon, like in the hotel room when you fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not going on my fucking bed.
No, and
it's
then
gross.
I've talked before about how I feel about outside clothes on my bed.
Yeah.
But it got really bad when I moved to New York, I think.
Yeah.
Because I had to take the subway and stuff, and like everyone takes the subway.
Well, and also like the pandemic was really, really bad at that time too.
So like I also think I know that my anxiety and depression were really bad when I lived there. So that kind of heightened new like fears for me. So this outside clothes and shoes in my house.
I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same time, that might have played a factor too.
I was telling Adam about it. I was like, now that I think about it, I think that was like a new
hyperfixation,
new little flare in my anxiety.
Yeah, I mean, it's not unheard of. I'm sure
it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from Ariel. Mm-hmm. She said this is her mom's biggest pet peeve. Her mom is also a Virgo, so perhaps you will agree with this. She said that her biggest pet peeve is when they have office lunch parties and the same people bring cheap ass paper plates and cups. What are your thoughts on that? As a Virgo?
Listen, I am a paper plates and cups type of girl. In the sense of like when I was in college and I was broke.
I agree.
But I wouldn't be that girl though that would bring that and then eat all the expensive shit and not, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like I was never that person, but I feel it. It's also, it's not even really, this is what I will say, and this is me confronting the Virgo. Mm-hmm. It's not even really that they only brought paper plates and cups. It's that they're the first people in line and they go 17 times. That's what's bad about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then at the end, they take
leftovers. That's what makes it bad. It's not even that they like contributed very little. Like that bothers me not that much. Yeah. It's the audacity that follows. Like a person that is willing to cut the line or clock out early of their morning shift so they can be first in the buffet line, goes back multiple times, takes multiple plates to their desk without eating it. Like, the person who goes, makes a whole smorgasbord, puts another plate on top, takes it to their desk, leaves it there, gets back in line. That person who contributed very little, that's the worst kind of person. But see, they have no shame. So it's almost like I can't even really get mad because they don't care how it makes them look. Like they don't care at all. I care.
And then after they're done making all their plates and like the food's all put away, they take the rest of the paper plates and cups home.
They'll like come and like help clean up, but really they're assessing the inventory and they're like, is anyone going to take this? Because if not, I'll take it home.
What are your thoughts on people who like, I'll bring like a 7-layer bean dip to the party?
Okay.
And then when the party's done, I pack it up and I take it back home.
That's the worst.
I think that's rude.
You're the worst kind of.
I am a guest in someone's house and I'm going to take the rest of this bean dip home.
And you bring the bean dip, but you don't bring a chip? Do you know how many times people have brought a bean dip to my fucking house, but no chips?
It's disrespectful.
I'm going to say this and we'll see if we want to keep it in. But like I've hosted before. I love to host. That's a Virgo thing too. And like, just to be fair, I will provide 90% of what we need. Like I'll provide apps, paper plates, all that stuff.
Your job is to bring drinks and like dessert.
Yeah. If you want to drink a specific alcohol, you can bring it. I have alcohol too. You're more than welcome to have it. Cause 9 times out of 10, they'll also bring something or they'll just come for the vibes. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm okay with too. But one time I had someone come to my fucking house. Mind you, me and Miller were hosting a lot of people. Like we had like a little party and we bought meat like to grill. We were grilling a bunch of meat. I had lots of appetizers. Yes. Okay. We had lots of appetizers, drinks, alcohol, all that shit. There was
only like 10 of us there. So if you don't bring something, everyone's going to know too.
Oh, that too. Well, yeah, like it's like a little party. It's like a little hangout, whatever. We were watching the fight. I wasn't watching
all the fights.
It was just,
oh man,
the fight.
Don't even get me started. Sports.
It was just an excuse to hang out, obviously. But we were having a good time vibing, right? This girl comes to my house. She wasn't the one we invited. She was the
plus one.
She was the plus one of someone we invited, which is fine. She comes. the man she came with brought something.
Yeah.
She brought me a little canister, like a plastic thing of loose pecans. Let me tell you something. Loose. When I say loose pecans, I mean, this is what I mean. The shit was open already.
It's old. It was open as you.
It was open. She goes, I just figured you guys could use these. In what universe, bitch? In what? I'm sorry. Do I look like Prue from the Great British Bake Off? Why would you bring me a box of
little snack?
And then one of my buddies was talking to me. He goes, what's that? And I go, this bitch literally brought me used pecans. She goes, these look like, they look like they would like these. And then, what she did? Went to my fridge and drank a bunch of my alcohol, ate my food, ate my appetizers, left her fucking pecans.
Picked up the dog 100 times.
I wish that she had taken the pecans with her, and that would have made me laugh even more. But they were...
She goes, can't forget these.
There are those candied pecans.
From C's?
No, from Trader Joe's, bitch.
Oh, and she was like, I really wanted you guys to try them.
She goes, I already ate some of them, though. Girl.
Guess what she is?
You know what I'm saying? In what universe? And then my buddy was laughing so hard because he goes, these just reminded me of you. Bitch, what the fuck? Talk about a pet peeve, bitch. Yeah. I'd rather you bring nothing at all. You should have just put all your eggs in his basket because he brought alcohol.
I wish she left the pecans but took home a bunch of meat or something. Like
yeah. I wish she brought them, but she did what she did, which was eat all my fucking food and drink all my alcohol and then took her pecans home. Yeah. That would have been funny.
No, leave the pecans, take the meat you didn't make home. That would have been way for. She's taking snacks in your cupboard that weren't even out. Yeah. That would have been so
just
funny.
Helping herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's rummaging through my drawers.
Do you have a bag I could use to take all this stuff?
Do you have a doggy bag that I could pack this up in?
I am only one person. I can't carry all this out at once.
Pecans that were already open. You couldn't even have brought me one with the seal on that shit. And then she handed them to me like it was such a oh, thanks for having us over. And I was like, what are these? And she goes, oh, they're candied pecans. I had some already, but I just figured why not? And it wasn't even a big jar. It was like this big. And you know what I did? I threw them bitches out. I threw them in the fucking trash where they belong. And pecans aren't even that good. They're not good enough to eat on their own.
Disgusting. Quit messing around.
Pecans and dessert of some kind, maybe. But by themselves,
we're better than that. Come on.
And then what's funny is the guy she came with, he brought alcohol that we liked and then brought alcohol for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So he brought something and he was and he was only drinking his own alcohol, which I don't care if he drank mine. But what the fuck? What the fuck? And just to show the antithesis of what kind of person, two different kinds of people at my party, right? Our bestie Carrie came.
Yeah.
And
Jenna.
And they handmade chocolate covered pretzels, dipped them in everything on their own. And the whole plate of them was gone. She brought them on a presentation board. You know what I'm saying?
Charcuterie board.
Or not, and all of them were gone. They were the hit of the party, honestly. Arguably more than the meat that we got too. They were such a big hit. And Carrie was oh yeah, I made these this morning.
I didn't know what to bring, so I made
How incredibly sweet. And also, mind you, whenever we invite people over, we never tell them to bring anything. They just bring it on their own. You know what I mean? Obviously.
Or they'll ask. Yeah.
Yeah, or they'll ask hey, what should I bring? Obviously, we didn't send out a list.
I don't even know if I brought anything.
No, you did. You brought alcohol.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. You brought alcohol and then you brought some of your own vegan stuff.
I brought high noons.
Yeah, Dason brought her own vegan snacks, but I always have vegan snacks in my house for this.
Another pet peeve: if you're vegan and you go to someone's house, don't expect them to have shit for you. I have known a vegan person to do that, and they would think a whole special meal is going to be prepared for them,
and then they get mad when
you're going to a barbecue. What do they cook at barbecues?
Well, and knowing my sister is vegan, I got my sister vegan meat and we grilled it before we grilled the other meat.
Just like my dad, if you were barbecuing at the house, he cooks my meat first. But I'm just saying, that's my family.
But I did that because she's my sister.
Yeah. And if I'm going to Carrie's house and we're having a barbecue, I'm going to eat a little bit before I go and then bring snacks I know I can eat.
But then she also brought her own snacks and she brought alcohol and I brought her I bought her some snacks and I bought her some meat. So it's just what the fuck, dude?
It's bizarre, bro.
Even
and
someone...
it's always those kinds of people.
Even with someone with an extreme dietary restriction brought her own shit. And she's my family. If she showed up with nothing, I would have been girl, I would have thought it was weird because she's not like that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have been mad because she's my family and she's here all the time.
It's also so embarrassing being vegan sometimes because like people are always like, what can you eat? And I go, just not meat. Like
animal byproducts of any kind.
Oh.
And nothing with a face.
I say that and then I turn around and I'm eating a party-sized bag of Doritos. Like, we all have our limits, you know?
Nothing with a face.
Okay, this next one's from Janelle. She's also a Virgo sun like you.
Love.
And she said that her biggest pet peeve is when she's talking to someone and they start to zone out when she's talking.
Are you me and then the person you're zoning out talking to is Dason? Is that what that is? Because she does that shit to me all the time, bro. And she goes, what? Like it's my fault. I fucking hate that shit.
My brain can only compute for so long.
You know how, have you ever seen those things where people go like, it's like a sad thing when they're like, I'm talking and it feels like no one's listening. And people are like, I hate when that happens. As a Virgo, I can say, I don't let shit like that happen. If it looks like they're zoning out, I go, are you listening to me? Yeah. I demand to know if they're listening to me immediately. Whoops. I'll go like, are you even listening to me? And then they'll be like, oh yeah. And then they feel embarrassed and then they listen. And I don't care if it makes everybody uncomfortable because that's rude. I don't like when people do that. I feel that though. That's so irritating.
This next one's from Caitlin. And she said that she hates when people leave their shoelaces tied and just slip their feet in and out of their shoes.
At me next time.
I can't watch them do it. Every man I know that does this has the most fucked up looking shoes. Get slip-on shoes or just tie them. I beg of you.
Am I the man you're talking about?
Wait, so I guess it's specific. All my shoes I have to untie now because there's no way for me to put my fucking foot in them. But like your Converse, do you untie and then retie?
Yeah, my Converse I have to because they're high tops. Yeah, but like there are some shoes I have that I don't do that.
Like your Air Force Ones that I haven't seen you wear in 100 years. Do you just stick your foot in there?
No, those I have to untie.
What about the chunky white shoes you always wear?
Which ones?
The Princess Polly ones.
Oh. No, I have to untie those. And the shoelaces are like fucking ropes.
Yeah. So
they're so thick.
I guess the only shoes I will do that with is like the shoes I work out in.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Running shoes. I have a pair of Nike running shoes that I use when I like do cardio and shit.
You know whose biggest pet peeve that's their biggest pet peeve?
My dad.
Yeah. Our dad. Because our mom just takes her running shoes off and puts them on the side. He wants to take them and throw them in the street. It makes him so
I know, because he's watched me do it and he fucking hates when I do it.
Yeah, me too.
He also hates how I tie my shoes. Like he thinks that the way I tie my shoes is so embarrassing. Her shoes are
always untied. That's
like
why.
A little kid. It's really bad. It's really bad. I know. You know what it is though? This, in my defense, my nails are very long, so sometimes it's hard for me to tie it like as tight as I would like because when I go like this, it's still stuck on my nail. Does that make sense? So I have to like go like really fast, like that, and then I just double knot them like 4 times.
I feel that.
So, in my defense, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The bad bitch lifestyle is not for everyone. It does come with sacrifices.
All right, friends, we're going to take a quick little break for a little ad moment, and this is with our friends over at Pretty Litter. So my cats, they are total little weirdos who I can always count on to really keep me entertained. And something else I can always count on is Pretty Litter. It's the only cat litter I'll ever use, and here's why. The crystals from Pretty Litter, they change color to detect early signs of potential illness like metabolic acidosis, which can cause diabetes, urinary tract infections, kidney issues, and so much more. It also ships free to my door in a small, lightweight bag. And I live on not the first floor, so I don't want to carry things up to my door if I don't have to. So it ships literally to my door. I never run out, and I don't have a massive container of litter taking up space, and I don't have to lug that bulky container from the store to my car and then all the way up the stairs to my house. Obsessed. One of the things I really disliked about other cat litters I've talked about in the past was the powdery parts of it. So when they would move around in there, it would be like a storm of cat litter powder in the air, which would always make me feel so disgusted. I also hated that they didn't really hide the smells. Whereas with Pretty Litter, I'm never worried about whether or not I can smell what my cats are doing in their bathroom, if that makes sense. So once you try Pretty Litter, it'll be the only litter you ever use. So go to prettylitter.com/2idiotgirls to save 20% on your first order. That's prettylitter.com/2idiotgirls to save 20% on your first order. prettylitter.com/2idiotgirls. Now back to the episode. This next one's from Lauren. Mm-hmm. She said, I have several because I'm an Aries and everyone annoys the fuck out of me. So I'm going to read like 2 of these. So the first one says, I hate when you're hanging out and someone tells you that you look angry or you should smile more. I can't stand when I'm like clearly in like I'm fine or maybe I'm kind of crabby and people go, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
I can't stand that.
Well, that's because you're already irritated. So it's like, yeah, you can tell I'm irritated. Why are you announcing it to the room?
Well, no, and then why would you ask me like that? Why wouldn't you be like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, that's true. I feel that.
Okay? Not what's wrong with you.
Yeah. I only ask you that when you don't laugh at my jokes.
No,
so.
I know. And then her other one is anyone touching me when it's unprovoked and not consensual. For example, when you're at a bar and a guy tries to slide behind you and touches your arm.
I hate shit like that.
Let me tell you something. Drew's as tall as almost all of the men in every bar that we go into. They don't do those things to her.
That's not true. That's not true. They have done it to me. I just react so viscerally or bristle so aggressively that they like don't do it anymore. But I feel you on the touching. I hate being touched, if I'm being real. Like there are max like 3 people in my life that I'm cool with touching them. Like them touching me.
Yeah.
Dason isn't one of them. So
what do you mean?
When I think touching, I think like hugging or like holding. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I
always want to touch Drew.
Yeah, Dason always wants to hug me, and
I touch everyone when I talk to them.
No, she's a very physical person. I'm not. So
if I'm not talking to you, I don't like you. It's true. Like when I'm talking to people, if I'm touching you, it's because I feel comfortable with you and I like you.
Yeah, Dason just does it because she knows it irritates me. But like, it's not because I fucking hate Dason. It's not specific to her. It's anybody. Like I just hate physical affection that's unsolicited and not started by me. I don't like at all. And I'm cool. Like sometimes when I meet people in person and they ask me, can I give you a hug? I love that.
Yeah.
I don't like being hugged unprovoked. I don't like being hugged and you didn't ask. Like I hate that stuff. I just like, it's just something with me. I hate being touched.
Well, and that's something to think about too, because even though they know you really well or think they know you, you don't know them at all. Yeah,
which I always try to tell people with love and respect. Like it's the parasocial, it goes one way.
And even if she did know you, she wouldn't want you to touch her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like as like my real life friends, like they know that too about me. Yeah. So like you know what I mean? My own family knows that. My mom and dad know that about me. Like I just don't like being touched unless I solicit it. You know what I'm saying?
Facilitate it.
Yeah, you gotta let me decide when and where we touch.
We see each other in person probably every single day, at least once every single day, if not like 6 times a week.
Yeah.
But the other day I left and we gave each other a hug and it was still weird. But we never, every time we say bye, we never hug. It wasn't weird because I was trying not to cry because I was so excited.
I'm just laughing at like the fact that we're both like.
Because we hugged, I was like, I'm so proud of you, thanks. And then we both were all, okay, get off.
But it's also like one time we were riding the Tower of Terror ride at Disneyland, it like goes up and down. And like we both like, we're sitting next to each other, Dace and I. And we go up and it drops and we're screaming. And we like went to reach for the same handle, but we held hands on accident. And like mid scream, we're like, ew, both of us. It wasn't just me. It was both of us.
We were both like, ew, what? We both couldn't stop laughing, so the rest of the ride we're just silent laughing at each other. We're all, ew, and then we're all pose for a picture, and I'm like, don't touch me like that.
That's why I said like it goes both ways.
Dude, that's so funny.
If Dason ever hugs me, it's purely to irritate me. Yeah. Because she thinks it's funny. That's like the only reason. That's like sibling shit. But like that, we were like, ew, like at the same time.
Ew. Don't touch me.
Yeah, and like we're mid fall and I'm like, ew. And she goes, I know, don't. I was like, I didn't do that. And then
I thought you did it to be funny.
Girl, what the fuck? No. I thought she did it to me. That's why I was like, ew.
You were being silly.
And then she was like, don't touch me. I was like, I didn't.
I thought we were being silly.
This is... Wait, this is off topic, so you can cut this part out, but like...
I tell you something too. Go ahead.
We went on the Velocicoaster and you were like silent because you were so scared.
Wait, leave that in. That's funny. Like I literally. Wait, we never talked about that roller coaster. You guys, have you all ever been on the Velocicoaster?
Wait, hold on. When we went to Playlist Live, like there was a night where they took us to Universal.
So fun.
Which was so fucking fun. Like unbelievably fun. we went on the Hagrid ride, which not even joking, I laughed so hard. I was sobbing. Like I was sobbing like tears, and I was crying when we pulled like up to get off. And the girl who unbuckled me or whatever, she was like, "Are you okay?" And I literally went, "Yeah, I just had so much fun." Because I just had so much fun. I was literally crying.
Yeah,
that happened on every ride I went on.
They don't have those rides in the LA one. So
just even at Disney World, like when we went on the Guardians ride.
Yeah.
I was crying when I got off.
It was so fun.
And Billy was like, something about a new ride just really gets you going. Like I just get so emotional from laughing so hard. It's like pure joy, which sounds so lame, but it was. But we went on the Hagrid ride twice, which was so fucking fun. And then we went on a couple other rides, and then we went on the Velocicoaster. Okay, I don't know what the fuck y'all put in that ride, but like
that's the scariest roller coaster I've ever
That is the scariest ride.
On it. I don't know if it's any different during the day. I feel like it'd be even scarier.
Yeah, because you could see more.
But at night, like that's why we were laughing, because I literally was so scared I stopped screaming. It's just silent.
She said that she was literally going like the whole time.
I couldn't laugh. I couldn't emote anything because I was like so scared.
Just like that ride is like, I was saying like there's no way that ride is like street legal. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like
it's true.
There's no way, dude. There's no way. Like the way that ride tosses you around. Billy was like, I felt like I was at the beach and I got taken under by a wave and I was just tossing like that, and I had nowhere to come up for air.
It's true.
That's what I felt like.
I literally thought I was gonna die.
I was telling my mom, like, I was like halfway through the ride, I was like, I don't think I want to make it off. Like, whatever happens at the end, I don't want to be here for it.
That's in God's hands. I'm in God's hands now.
Literally, I was giving it to God at that point. Like, take me now. I really don't care.
It was so scary.
I have never been on a ride like that before.
My stomach hurt so much before we got on that one because I got motion sickness from the second time we rode the Hagrid.
Oh, yeah. The other Harry Potter ride.
That Velocicoaster, it shook it right out of my body.
Dude, the way that I swear I saw like a higher power on that ride, I was screaming so loud that it sounded like I was being murdered by somebody. So I never have screamed like that. And then it was so bad that the couple in front of us on the ride, when we pulled back in, the guy goes, "Are you okay?" Because I was scaring him with my screaming was scary.
It wasn't I'm having fun screaming. It's I'm really scared.
It was like scared. It was just terror. It wasn't fun, happy screaming. It was literally terror.
When we got off, I was like, my hair was all sideways because I forgot to take my clip out. That I slammed the back of my clip on
and I kept going, "Oh my God," the entire ride. Like I was going, "Oh my God, oh my God," the whole ride. It was so terrifying,
so
but
scary.
I don't know why that came up.
Because we're talking about
terror. Yeah, dude. Highly recommend though. Yeah. Like we convinced our cousins to go on it too because one of them is afraid of roller coasters. But we were like, you got to do it once just so you could say that you did it.
Even my dad, he was like, I regret not going.
Yeah, my dad didn't want to go because he got motion sickness too. But like he was like, I don't really care. I don't want to go. But
he says no. I wish I went on it,
dude. That roller coaster. I came off a different person.
I don't know that he would have fit. I don't think they would have been able to click that thing down hard enough though.
I mean, Billy fit, so
that's true.
I think he would have been fine. But the way that like. They have the most intense roller coasters ever
in Florida,
but the shit only goes on your lap. It doesn't go over, so you feel extra unsafe in there. You know what I mean? Like,
it's bizarre, bro.
I was just like the way that Jason was like, I literally was scared into silence.
I can't even. I'm not having fun. I want to go home.
And I knew it was going to be off the books crazy because
everyone said it, but
no, I didn't. I had no understanding. I thought it was going to be like the accelerator one at Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah. And it's like 3 times as long. It felt like.
Yeah. And no, it was because we went in and then before you get to the very front, like you're about to get on the ride, they weapon screen you again, and they make you empty every single thing out of your pockets.
True.
They make you check all your bags, which like they make you do on a lot of the rides in Florida, but like they make you take everything out of your pockets,
and it's because it's going so fast.
Twisting upside down.
If a penny flew out of your pocket,
it would kill someone easily because you're going that fast. Like that's the part where I was like, what kind of fucking ride is this?
I was so motion sick that I was like, nothing. I had nothing connected.
Oh man, so fun, so scary, so fun.
This is from I think it's Kiowa. Kiowa, and she said when you can see someone spit when they're talking, especially when it gathers on the sides of their mouths.
I feel like that happens with men a lot. I feel like that's pretty common with men.
Is that they're dehydrated and that's why they do that?
No, I think they just have an overabundance of
spit
and like. I don't know. They just haven't learned, or someone
swallow their spit.
No one's told them like that's gross. You know what I mean? I just like don't know. Sometimes I think like I am curious to know, is that like a medical condition? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe it's just like a unfortunate circumstance more than anything. But I feel it. If you're a very observant talker, like you're someone who watches other people very intensely when they talk to you, I can see why that would bother you. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm a huge fan of it, but it is gross. It's just not something I typically notice unless it's like really, really bad.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like every soccer coach I've ever had that was a man, they always had that.
That's a good. That's
going
fair.
On there?
Honestly, I care more about bad breath. Like
you're right.
You can have all the spittle in the world, but if your breath is hot, that's way worse.
That's I think way more disrespectful than
it is. That's a choice. You know what I'm saying? You're choosing to intentionally violate me with your disgusting breath. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Oh my God, the way that bad breath just like it could just tarnish your reputation to me. You know what I mean? Like you just get the way that you have like one chance to prove that you don't have bad breath. And then if you have it one time and you're in like a new environment, everyone knows you as the person with bad breath. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, I was talking to so-and-so. And you go, who's that? And then I go, the guy with the bad breath. If that's your signifier.
And then everyone goes, oh, dude. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious.
No one wants to be that guy.
You know what's so funny too is like my hair and makeup artist, Adam. He always has like gum, mints, like anything
those
like
little
that.
Floss picks.
Yeah, but he keeps them in his makeup bag too. Like for people when after they get their makeup done and stuff, to give them gum and stuff if they need it.
Okay.
Not because they stink, but like if they need it, because he was saying like nothing's worse than like when people are looking at your glam and they're like, oh my God, you look so beautiful, and then you have stinky breath. Which is fair. You know what I mean? Like, God. The way that some people walk around so unchecked with bad breath, just polluting the earth. You know what I mean?
It's not good.
And Dason is someone who will smell bad breath from a mile away. Like a mile away. Like and that's the thing, like she has like the nose of a bloodhound.
Yeah.
For me, if I can smell it, it's bad. It's really fucking bad. If
but
I can smell it, it's bad.
I will always smell it first.
Yeah.
I will always smell it first.
She clocks it very early on, and sometimes I don't even notice.
No.
But like if we both smell it, then it's bad. It's bad. Like it's borderline medical at that point. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Goodness gracious.
So this one's from Daniela, and she said, bare feet on the fucking dashboard. I hate seeing them on the freeway. I don't care how cute you think your feet are. Put them away.
Oh my God.
That does make me mad. It makes me want to smash into that side of the car. What do you think? You're better than me?
I just think like, why? You know what I mean? Like, there's no way it's that comfortable. There's no way. There's no fucking way that it's that comfortable.
One time we were driving to Drew's show.
Yeah.
And we were having a little bit of a tiff with one another. Literally me, her, and our mom, we were all like annoyed with each other.
Yeah.
We're on the freeway. No one's talking because we're mad. And then this car pulls up next to us. We're in standstill traffic. If you're watching the video version, you'll be able to see this better. But this girl had both her feet on the dash, one foot on top of the other, top foot toes gripping the bottom toes.
Because they were mushed up against the fucking windshield.
But they're gripping. I can't even, my toes aren't long enough to do that.
She was literally holding her own foot.
With her foot.
But they were like mushed up against the windshield. So her toes were like up like that, against. Girl.
I'm not even joking you. We all three of us saw it at the same time. All the fights are gone. No one's mad.
Immediately. immediately
Cut all the tension out.
We were like, ew. Because what the fuck? Like, and let's just all collectively agree, if you're that person, stop. Also get a pedi. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, brush them, cut them. Like, you don't have to like give yourself a pedi. You don't have to go get one, but like clean them up. Like, if you're going to force everyone to look at them, at least make sure they look good.
I agree.
At the very fucking least, like, oh my God, like do something.
Do you think they do that for attention?
No, I think it's, first of all,
we know what they look like.
A lot of times, 9 times out of 10, anytime I've ever seen it, that's who it was, right? But I think it's just an extreme lack of self-awareness. Like, it's just like, you know, like someone, it's so weird, but like, you're like, I'm so used to taking up space all the time in whatever way I see.
Doing the most bizarre things that this is fine.
And to them, it's not bizarre.
No, I know.
To take up space in a way that makes other people uncomfortable or unsettles others and it doesn't bother them, it's just normal.
When we were at the airport going to New York and we were stuck, we were sitting like near one of the restaurants and there were these 2 women that were yelling to each other. They're both laying on like benches.
Yeah.
They both have eye masks on the top of their head, like the ones you go to sleep with, wrapped in blankets, bare feet up on the wall, yelling to each other.
Up on the wall, like up, like high enough, like head height. Like where, if you're sitting in a booth and like, you're like, this is where your head would be, that's where their feet were. Bare fucking feet.
And they're yelling. See
what I mean? Like, just like, I don't know. You know what I always say when people do shit like that? This is another example. There was this kid that I used to be when I was in high school. He was in my Spanish class. He used to wear like rainbows, like the slippers.
Yeah.
The slippers with the little things between the toes. He used to wear those to school all the time. He would take them off under his desk. And if he had to like go sharpen his pencil, he'd get up and walk across no shoes.
You're lying.
I'm not even lying. And I'll tell you when we log off, I'll tell you who it was. But he literally would walk around with his bare feet slapping on the carpet. And I'll never forget it. I never forgot it. And you know what? He used to fuck with me all the time. Like, he used to like joke around with me because he thought he was like cute and whatever. And then like he said something to me and I'm like, why are your shoes off, dude? Like, I brought it up because I couldn't take it anymore. I'd been watching it for weeks. And he goes, oh, you know, like they're just slippers. I'm all, well, put them on your feet. Like, I just don't know why you
But also, why are you a man wearing slippers to school?
with skinny jeans? Like, love yourself more. But then he did that and he'd laugh and he'd be like, oh, what's the big deal? I'm like, you're walking around like you're at home. And that's what I say. I'm like, you're not at home. Put your fucking shoes on. You're not at home. You're not in the living room. Put your shoes on. And then I literally told him, I was like, that's gross. Like, you're walking around our classroom with your...
Muy feos.
I'm like, you're standing over there. You're standing at the front of the class next to the whiteboard, sharpening your pencil with your bare feet.
Ew.
Why? And then I said, you have the right to do that. I have the right to complain. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have the right to tell you that you're fucking gross.
Ew.
It's the same shit. Like, the same logic applies. You're not at home. That's what I always say. Yeah. Hey, we're not at home. Put your shoes on. That's what I always want to say.
Yeah. When I lived in Oregon, I mean, a lot of people didn't wear shoes, but the worst was like,
well, in Hawaii too, but like
being in the library and, you know, they like had to like break their chacos off their feet because they're solidified to their feet. I don't know why. And their feet are always so goddamn dirty. Well, did you swim a ravine to get here and then walk in the muck?
You know what's funny is, what's the point of shoes? Like, if they're not going to protect your feet from getting dirty or hurting, what's the point?
Did you see that TikTok of that lady? She was like, it was like non-traditional parenting. She was showing the way she does it. So one was her kids never wear shoes. Okay. Another one, she lets them drink coffee, and then she doesn't bathe them. Someone was like, "That's the worst part."
Are they like forest children at that point? Like, I just think like, you want to do whatever you want to do, that's fine. When we're in public spaces, I'm not obligated to be okay with it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to act like that? Okay, I have the right to complain about it. Like, I have the right to talk about how fucking gross it is to me. You know what I mean? I'm all, the rest of us have some decorum for the people around us. Like, I'm just saying, like, awareness. You know what I mean? Like, is this going to make other people uncomfortable? Maybe I shouldn't do it. You know what I mean? They don't have that, like, at all. They're like, I'm uncomfortable, so I'm going to do this. Like,
so weird.
Oh my God. Bare feet in public spaces. Like, it fucking annoys me. Put them dogs away.
Put them away.
Put them away. Chop them off at that point. Like,
especially if you're a man.
It's like when I was like talking to Manny on my show, and he was saying like, when men have ugly feet, it's just so terrible. Like, if they don't like groom them, right, at all.
Even self-grooming. We're not saying go to the salon.
I was like, even if they're nice, like, pop them off like Brat's feet. You know what I mean? Like, Like
We've talked about it on
pegs.
here. Told you Caleb said feet belong to women and children.
I love Caleb.
Stop.
It's just, especially if you don't take care of them, it's even worse. Like, it's even worse. You shouldn't be doing that in the first place, but if you're going to do it and the shit are busted, like, come on. Now I have to look at it and I have to think about how terrible it looks. Like, who's winning at that point? You know what I mean? Not us. Yeah. So.
All right, friends, thank you for listening to this week's episode of Two Idiot Girls. As always, every audio version of all of our episodes, this is episode 40. What the heck? Who thought we'd make it here? Is available on everywhere you can find podcasts, and you can watch the video version per usual on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
We haven't picked a theme yet for next week's episode, but just look out for it on our Instagram. But other than that, I hope you have a great week, and we love you.
Bye.